Beautiful people, most welcome to the Voice of Evolution. I'm Charlotte Chi. So today let's talk a little about the difference between moving on and not moving forward. It's all about that particular ley line between victim consciousness and victory. You know, achieving victory requires some processes to move through. I do know there's many people who had an easy life and had great parents. They grew up in magnificent things, are great adults, etc., etc. And also, they may fall completely off the ladder they were ascending into. And reason of that is because they're not aligned to their true self. And on the other hand, we have a lot of people willing to find their word, willing to find their truth, willing to rise in vibration, willing to finally move into success and having the abundance and reality of life they are looking forward to. So here from now on, everything is actually possible because everything has changed so much, though I do know so many struggle. And in this video I'd like to expose a few items that are very, very important in order to make it in a happy life, in a life that you truly want. Because there's some saying like that reveals like you shall be given according to your belief. And I strongly know this is to be true. But how many then again are aware of the fact that one single thought may cut out any manifestation? And that is very, very, very detrimental to understand that we can move beyond anything suffered. I will tell you in the first place, I have been treated like a slave by my own parents. I had to clean the house, I had to clean the cars, I had to take care of the household while my sister was being treated like the princess of everything. And that particular thing I deem it very important to mention has actually had planted, I'm not there anymore, had planted an extreme level of unworthiness in my brain, unworthiness in everything from which I suffered from one age into the next age, from my teenagers into my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, until I started to truly take responsibility and let's say, and becoming aware of how my own parents cut me down, and with it came the cutting of an excellent life in society, friends, friendships, connections, businesses, family. None of that happened to me just because of these items. And so I started to turn around my entire life like 20 years ago as I came into contact with light technology, because, I was so much aware from, from the age of 6, in which I started to educate my mom about the truth of being on the earth, the truth about the universes. Although I didn't realize it back then, but I always had eyes wide open. And also when I was in kindergarten and, between the age of 6 and 12, I would teach teachers, and they got so angry at me just because I was planting truth back then in their classroom. And so they tried to kill me whatever way possible. So not allowing me to play with children and those things. But I always kept that high level vibration. I was always happy. I would do some gym tricks, when there was playtime. I would teach children, and they had a lot of fun with me all of the time. I deem it very important to talk about this just because, that vibe back then, what I had to always lift myself up no matter what, although I didn't realize it back then, I do realize that no, I have that same vibration, that same connection, that same high level of trust, faith, fun, because the divine is always there. It's a matter of reconnecting and connecting again. And I had always so many things other kids didn't have. It's like I would always counter talk whatever what was going on, and that brought through a level of truth. So a lot of counter talk is what you will see through my videos, and have fun with it. If you agree or do not agree, it doesn't really matter, because you know we are at a level that we should respect each other a lot more, and you know, have that those mature communication, because I'm here on YouTube to reconnect, to build communities, and to offer you valuable courses, to offer you valuable talk, and no TED Talks, because these people are very much put on one string, so they can only talk what works with TED Talks. So I'm Charlotte Talk, okay? I'm Charlotte, the voice of evolution, and I would so much love to see your voice here, your comments. I'm brand new here, and I'm streaming through, so thank you so much for subscribing and helping me grow my channel, as I will bring out a video every day to support, to coach, to bring out new levels of truth, of course. No shots, shot-free truths, and having a little bit of fun, because it's really time we had some fun, right? But a good thing that happened over the past 3 years of restrictions and whatever mandates, all that stuff, I didn't tap into it, so it didn't touch me, and it shouldn't touch you. You should be touched by the divine and understand the level of fun that truth can bring. It takes courage, it takes strength, it takes self-development, but beyond all, there's one word most amongst us know, right? That is, know thyself. So it's very important that I mention that word, know thyself. How do we get to know ourselves? So that is a long road on the ladder of ascension, on the ladder of being and feeling in your divine alignment, and thus your purpose, your destiny on this airplane, as many will remain for the next couple of 100 years. So we are all going from eternal beings into immortal beings, as those who leave the planet right now will not come back. So the incarnation cycle has been cut down already for a good cause, because we are repairing the airplane, and new spirits are already downloaded on the earth. So children, many children being born right now, are no longer, luckily, in soul level, because the movement into ascension from soul into spirit is quite a road to take. We have to remember so much, we have to delete so much old stuff, so many traumatic, painful circumstances. I'm sure everybody suffered some level, and some people suffered to such a high degree, or no, nothing less but suffering, right? So here the ages of truly gathering, unifying, finding solutions together, as I truly intend to travel in the future and come together with you, building solutions, and building communities on which you can build another community, and that community build another community off the grid, finding all solutions for anything that is playing out there, and which is all about cutting truth down. So from now on, loads and loads and loads levels of truths will open up, as the past year all light frequency from the celestial, celestial, and universal levels have grounded, meaning all these light armies are on the planet right now. So it's about cutting down all that old perception, old consciousness about it, and awakening to further levels. If I talk about light entities being with us on the earth, we can see them when opening all our eyes, and that can only happen when returning to the origin, starting off with crystallizing self in a crystalline grid, because it needs a foundation. So there's a lot of videos I made about that awakening process, about the pineal gland. So just have a look at my channel. And there is a lot truth into it, because one of them, for example, is like light monsters walk around in light, right? We are returning the cellular construction into light embodiment, into light parts, and then into light waves. So we will see them electronically as we will become electronic, for those interested in doing that work and remaining here for many, 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 many thousands of years perhaps. So let's not dig into that. That's another topic. But that is the goal. So they don't walk around in white robes or anything. They walk around in a jeans and a t-shirt, very cool, like we do. You know, a good pair of sneakers, go out in the world and walk your talk. That is the truth. So, and that is the best way to connect with those beings as well. So that's very, very important. Another thing is like many people struggle how to be successful, how to have a better life, a success in which everything manifests. We need to do that work, because, you know, we can ask the divine for realization. Ask and you will receive, but if there is just one single thought getting in the way, you will not. Then again, another level that you could try to understand is ask according to your light level, ask according to your faith level. Because if that frequency doesn't match the frequency you're asking for, it cannot manifest. That is universal divine law in divine order. And so the divine orders are reinstalling divine justice here. And so we will see a lot more justice when doing the work, when taking action. Not taking action, not doing anything, just sitting there and asking will not manifest anything, because your light vibration will not match the manifestation you are asking for, right? If you want to win the lottery, then your vibration should meet those millions of dollars, right? So at least you need to be very fit. You need to be in highest health ever. You need to be joyful at all the time. A sad and depressed person cannot attract that. That's impossible, because that vibration, money is just energy. It's high level energy that needs to flow, right? So once we understand that, we start to manifest small things and then level up. So each time, if you ask according to your light and your faith, and you ask the divine, you know, to make us aware what needs to go in our brain in order to receive what we really want, and you work on that, then you will manifest from one day into the other. Another thing is also to make it crystal clear how you want to live, with whom you want to live, and what will be the outcome for you. So that perfect vision is very important to refine on an everyday level. So what kind of family would you fancy? How would you like to live? Would you prefer to be married? Would you like to have kids? Would you prefer a large family? Would you like to have, you know, friends that have high mentality, that match your mentality, that assist you on an equal level with brilliant ideas and exchanges without getting exhausted in communication? That's the incoming age. Spark to spark communication. No more low levels, no more listening to things or people that do not match your vibe, because it cuts you down, right? So there's a lot to understand. Like for me, I decided 20 years ago to completely live by myself, because you know I work day in day out. I have like so many passions, so, and I develop one skill, one talent after the other through light technology, which is what I teach. So I teach light body, I teach the complete raising in vibration in your ascension through the celestial universal levels, becoming your authentic sorcery, and opening to that takes a lot of time. But then again, I have 20 years of experience, so there is a course of 15 weeks online that gets you there in to at least a foundation of crystallizing, deleting anything traumatic, anything density to the physical, emotional, mental bodies that cut you down, and then start off and shoot it out. On the other hand, if you have suffered a lot, and you know your vibration is pretty low, it may have to do with a high level of unworthiness. So unworthy witness is number one to delete, especially if you're acquainted with light technology and you work with light in your meditational devotion. You connect at least, or you repair your connection to your source, your spark, and your spirit. So these three S's, SSS, need to flow as one, as they always upgrade from one body part into another body part, and up and up and up. But then again, when having that is at least when you move into an celestial body, that is a new creation for us, that opened up to bring a quickening in ascension, as the universe is not going to wait anymore for those not willing to do the work. So releasing unworthiness, that is, I would really suggest to write down your levels of unworthiness, you know, and you get to know them each time anyone, anybody, any situation breaks you down. There's a level of unworthiness. And it's like cutting down the Tower of Babel, like the 911 tower, in your pituitary gland. That is where it sits, the vagus nerve eventually, and your entire central nervous system. So there's three things to delete it from. And working with light combinations, configurations, formulas, if you want, for example, black, gold, and white, and you breathe that through, you bring that in the pituitary, and you command your pituitary to release all levels of unworthiness. If you know them, you say them by name. You breathe in, you hold on to while it cleanses, and you release, and you do that through everything. The spinal column, especially do that for 1 week, and you will feel a huge lifting in consciousness, in awareness, in perspective, in belief systems, in faith. And the best level to measure that, if you've done a good job right here, is that people are starting to respect you a lot more. They will be a lot more grateful towards you, and they will start eventually to love you more, to admire you more. So that is how you could see the outcome. So if you don't have technology, eventually I do a lot of healing sessions in which I delete immediately. You get the recording, you do it for 1 week. Each time during the incoming years when it pops up, you go back to that recording, and you start doing it again. I've been doing it for like 3-4 years, and you know, I upgraded my technology so much. So the past month I cut down to the last level. I said, damn, my parents are still there. Or any situation, gosh, I went through so much. So you can go to the whole thing of finally working with that, because it will reveal so much. It will attract like automatic money flow on an easy level, like you'd be surprised what comes through. So I experienced a lot during the past years as I truly went to the core bottom line of that. So if you could work out and write down your level each time something pops up, write it down, and then when you sit in meditation, you make your connection in the crystalline grids with your light body. Or if you haven't any, there's a 5-day online as well. Should you fancy that, or I can help you with an individual session. It's all in the description box below. I work very fast. Light technology is applying everything from the origin. The origin is creation. When we look out there in the world, what we see the Earth, we see many other star systems, we know there's many galaxies, we know there's many, many levels, we know there's life on many, many planets, we do know there's elements to sustain us. Yet the elements on planet Earth do not sustain us any longer. They decay the body as we have been killing the planet. So I think most people are pretty much aware of that symptom, like we need to clear the oceans, rebuild the soil, rebuild vegetables, everything. So we're all in it together. And even though we weren't part of it, it's that we move Unitarian and we take care of the planet. So, unworthiness also has to do with possibly your looks, the way you do things, and all that stuff. So, my father used to tell me all of the time, you look so ugly, can't you change that? Go, to the hairdresser, go to the den, and all that stuff. Damn it. What happened to me is that I would place like 20 layers of makeup on my face when I was 16. My eyes were like black dragons moving just because of that distortion from my parents. So I'm just saying there's so many levels of unworthiness to move to. Once you delete that level, unworthiness and fear, and then you become so strong in consciousness, because you will feel when that has been released that you can rebuild with your strength. And then you can figure out where you want to live, what are your options, make them real, make your options real, be realistic in your options, and grow from one level into the other. So they need to make sense. However, if they make sense, you can go out of all recordings. So imagine your computer that has nothing but 20 or 30 years of old recordings. Your computer wouldn't work that well, right? Same goes for the computer of the brain. Your brain cannot move in a new pattern of thought forms, thinking, visualization, visions, whatever, perspectives especially, when having the old recordings there, because they stand in the way. They are like mud in the brain. And so when you need to open up like the flower of life, the lotus blossoming, that removes all the mud out of the way, so your brain, your body, your energy field, everything flows synchron with your own expansion. With your own expansion, I mean to say, the more you delete that old stuff, the old recordings, the old belief systems, truth that were never truth anyways on the planet, the more you start to understand where you want to go, what could be your destiny is what you put into action and realization. So aligning to your destiny, and that all comes down to self-knowledge. So aligning to green light go, which has all the knowledge. It can be infused in your brain, in your nervous system, and everything that you are. It's a question of working with at least the first 22 ways of creation, and just take it one day at a time. So just giving you suggestions, tryouts you could do, because you know after that you will see that you know you you become so strong in consciousness. You will want to take action in different plateaus of your life. So one plateau may be you may need some education. You may need to remember what is your highest level of skill and talent, and what what may bring you more and more joy. So I went back in my childhood. I know my passion is I need to talk. I'm a very strong healer and teacher. I'm an author. I'm an artist. I'm a coach. I could go on and on. So I don't know what is going to pop up this year, but I do know last year, I'm so concerned about anything that happens to the animal kingdom, the abuse, the tortures, name it, dogs being cut into pieces, and horses and whatever. There's enough on social media going on. So I told myself then, I don't really want to be an activist. I want to be a peaceful rider through the storm and bringing solutions and repair through. So I turn around my anger into peace and find solutions. So I started out a course into animal behavior and psychology, and I got out with great distinction. So I just mean to say, right, if I want to get somewhere, then I need to teach myself with something where I want to get. And for me, my heart is psychology, the nervous system, neurology, in humans and animals, and the elements. So that is where I will lay my foundation, and how to move forward. And eventually, with my diploma, I can get to work with great people already working for the repair of the animal kingdom, because that's my goal. And working along with you, and both merging both skills I have to assist humanity and to assist the animal kingdom, and to learn and listen and grow with the elements, because we are made out of elements: wind, the air, water flow, the ethers, fire and vibe. It's only since this year actually I started to work with the fire engines and understanding the element fire. So, and within each element there's massive other elements, so understanding that is also very great. So in one of my videos I talked about the blue cornflower as one of my element that is dear to my heart, that is part of me. And each day the divine could bring us other elements to work with and give the human kingdom, give you something new, because everything from now on is in renewal mode. A different view on uh, oil essences, a different view on the herbal kingdom, a different view on your diet. Everything is going to change, because all those truths will bring in that awareness where change is mandatory. We cannot, go on the old ways. They're gone and done. And so when we still recycle them, we cannot move up with what the divine brings through on a golden platter. That's impossible. Frequency needs to meet your vibe. And so we can move into the higher frequency. So vibe meets vibe, right? Spark meets spark. And so let me know what you struggle with so much, or what you would think is interesting to really move on with, or what you would do, what you tried out to move forward in your life or in business and psychology, um, problems with children, with youth. And I'm very much interested also where you are located on the planet. I'm in Belgium, I'm in Europe, and So as I'm making plans for the future, and I hope to connect more and more. So part of that stuff will go like giving a free seminar somehow when I travel, and giving people things for free so we can all move forward. Not everything needs to have a penny attached to it, right? Um, Other than that, just think about it and rewrite your life right now, and be honest to yourself. Be honest why you struggle with. Everybody may have these issues. Do know there's absolutely no single thing in this entire universe to be ashamed of. We all struggle. We all have been cut down without exception, okay? So all we need to do is give each other at least a level of understanding, communicate so people know you're not alone. And that is why I'm here on YouTube. So thank you so much for supporting my channel, subscribing, and clicking the bell so you get notified when my new videos come out. So thank you so much. It means the world to you, as I truly love people. And that just grew from one year into the other. So I can only be Charlotte Chi. So, no more veils, no more, you know, hidden agendas, and that is what we will see from now on. All the hidden agendas will come into the open, because the more light that is being infused on the planet, the more they will try to cut that light down again. So yeah, that is just it. Start cutting people out of your life that cut your vibration down. Stop that level. Another thing, yeah, I just want to mention that one, sorry. What I see a lot is people still stream in that embedded, infused, like shot in the brain thing about forgiving people. Why would you need to forgive? What you can do is come to an understanding, right? If many bad things happen to you, you don't suddenly do not need to forgive the devil, damn it. You don't. You need to come into balance with self, come to some understanding, and delete the experience out of your brain with which you delete the connection to that experience, and eventually all those people that were involved in that situation. That is the way of the divine, the straight way. If you come into terms with forgiving, that's such a thing like soul consciousness, I don't agree upon those things because they don't make sense. If you need to forgive, then on some level you agree. That is what forgiveness is about. If somebody cut my vibes a million times, and it's like, many people would say in the Bible somewhere or something, was stated like, forgive them for they don't know what they do. And so my answer is here, don't forgive them for they damn know what they do. They're picking up your brain. So the message here is the Bible has been rewritten like a million times, and the more truth comes up, the more falseness they will put in the new Bible. And that is how it works. So the truth is certainly not in there because it contradicts itself. So that is my say, and I hope, of course, you're free to comment on this, and but please keep it respectful. I respect everybody's comment. I don't respect negativity. And as we're here to go into new philosophy, and new philosophy comes from our own experiences. And when I give my experiences to you, it means I came out of them in a very high vibration and a very good outcome. And so I want to keep it that way, while respecting anything you could add and open up eventually a new conversation. So thank you so much for keeping the integrity, the respect, and hopefully we will meet soon. Okay. Um, keep it keep it beautiful for yourselves. Keep it smooth, peaceful, beautiful, and I would say allow yourselves um, any any beautiful experience there is out there. You know, you can just put that mantra in your brain. I only allow beautiful experiences from now on. I only allow beautiful experiences from now on. I command my brain to delete continuously everything I may have suffered from. So that's a good start for those maybe who find it quite difficult to start out a new life that is success versus victim consciousness, moving into pure victory, which I wish for all of you. Thank you so much. Charlotte Chi logging out.